What do Indonesian women actually think, feel when they see a Western foreigner on the streets or in public places in Indonesia? This is kind of the topic of today's video. I will read you a comment made by an Indonesian woman, which I find very interesting. And in this comment, she talks about her experience when watching, observing, or even encountering Western foreigners in Indonesia. But this comment is also interesting because she will actually give, or she is giving, tips for approaching Indonesian girls. She shares her observations, and first I will read this comment, and after this I will break it down step by step, and also will give my comments and how I see the things based on my experience. So this video is also not only for Western guys who are interested to travel to Indonesia and to date these women, but also I think it is helpful and interesting for Indonesian women to understand Western guys a little bit better. So without further ado, I will now read this comment here for you. Quote, "From what I see, every time I come across a bully means foreigner, every time I come across a foreigner on the street, train, station, random places, they look very reserved and seem to always avoid eye contacts with us, Indonesian girls. They walked so fast forward, it gives us impression they don't want to be bothered. And often they are not alone, but with a woman or in groups, and they only talk with each other. They don't care with surroundings. They don't put smiley face and always avoid eye contact with the people around them. That makes us feeling afraid to approach first. If you guys wanna approach Indo girls, do it casually and just go for it. Make eye contact, smile and nod a little bit and start with hi or converse about something. Don't be afraid, because Indo girls usually always wanting to talk and less negative thoughts and less suspiciousness. They take things simple and very relaxed as a person. And again, don't bring a woman near you. Go around alone and approach first and take things from there." So, end quote. And I read the comment as she wrote it, okay, just for your information, in case you're wondering what just happened with my English grammar, okay? But I think we all understand what she is talking about. So, very interesting and enlightening comment, as I find. So, she's talking about that, or this is what she feels, what she experiences, that these Western guys, these tourists or whoever they are, in her opinion, very reserved. They avoid eye contact and they walk pretty fast. I can only talk for myself. I'm a pretty tall guy and I walk fast. This is true. This is just how I do things. And of course, Indonesian people are smaller and they don't walk so fast. This is true. But this is also due to their culture and mentality. In my experience, they take things really easy. They just seem to walk in a very relaxed style without being in a hurry. This is a major difference I also noticed for many years already. We Western guys, we always seem to be in a hurry. We always have to be doing something, executing something, planning something, I don't know, something like that. We always seem to be, in this hurry. And Indonesian people are more relaxed. This is true. So she said also with so these Western guys are only with women or in groups, and they only talk with each other. Yeah, what they are supposed to do anyway. If they are with each other in a group, then of course they hang around with these people and talk to each other, and this is, I think, just normal, okay? And she also said these guys don't care about their surroundings. So I think this is obviously a very subjective observation, but yeah, imagine a group of foreign backpackers, 4, 5, 6 backpackers, and they having breakfast somewhere, and they're sitting together, talking, chatting, enjoying the breakfast, making plans for the day. Of course, they are focused and involved with their own matters, I think this is just normal. She said these guys or women, I don't know, they don't smile and make eye contact. Yeah, again, if this, let's say this is a group of boys, young men, if they are having fun, enjoying, chatting with each other, making plans for the day, of course they talk to themselves. They're not scanning the surroundings for women. Yeah, depending also what their motivation is. Maybe they are not there for dating, or maybe they are not interested to talk to Indonesian women. Okay. Because I know if I'm interested in an Indonesian woman, if I spot some woman on the street and I find her attractive and interesting, I try to make eye contact. Yeah, and I think many men would do the same. So she said, these points I just mentioned, or she mentioned, this basically makes her feel afraid to approach first. And in my experience, Indonesian women actually never approach first. Yeah, so I don't know what she means by this statement. It makes us feel afraid to approach these guys first. I think she means that by this, no smile, no eye contact, only care about themselves. She means that she actually, these girls, or these Indonesian girls, or this Indonesian woman in particular, maybe she just receives a unsympathetic vibe from these people, from these Western foreigners. I think this is what she's talking about. So she loses all mood to just be open for a conversation. I think this is what she means. But this is important now for the Indonesian girls here. Most of the Western foreigners in Indonesia, and depending in which region you also are, most of these bules, these foreigners, are actually just tourists, backpackers. And they are in Indonesia maybe for 2 weeks, for 3 weeks, maybe even for 4 weeks. But in any case and at any rate, they have a rather tight schedule, They're not just come to Indonesia to hang around and wasting their time. They're traveling, they come from far away, from Europe, from America, maybe from Australia is not so far, but they have a schedule, they have limited time. And sometimes they are rushing, and they have a program, a daily program. They want to see, they want to explore, they want to experience things, they want to get to know the country, and many, if not most of these Western guys are not interested in dating. They are not coming to Indonesia to meet women or to date or to flirt or to approach. This is something very important to understand. If you are in places like, for example, Bali or Yogyakarta, I would say the majority of Western guys, tourists who come to these places are there for tourism only. And other places, maybe like Jakarta, you have a clientele of Western foreigners who are also open for dating or just interested to date. Okay, so this is something very important to know for the Indonesian women, so that you don't get confused. But now for the Western guys who are also interested in dating Indonesian women, then I believe this comment here made by this Indonesian woman is very interesting and enlightening, because she says what you have to do if you are interested in an Indonesian woman, you basically just have to put on a nice smile, right? I mean, not a fake smile, but just a natural smile. You want to smile, you make eye contact, and you nod a little bit with your head and you say hi and then start a conversation. And this is also what I said in one of my recently released videos, where I talked about how to approach Indonesian women. In this video I particularly dedicate my time to explain what it means, how to approach Indonesian women, and what does approaching actually means. And this is what she also says, saying hi and then just talk about anything, okay? Not more, not less. She also said that you don't have to be afraid of Indonesian women, although if you are a Western guy and you are very shy, you will also be shy in Indonesia or any other country. You will not lose your shyness suddenly just because you are in a Southeast Asian country, in a different culture. But anyway, you don't have to be afraid, because she says Indonesian women like to talk. And this is true. I can confirm this. Indonesian women actually, again, Indonesian women normally do not approach Western guys, okay? That's your job. Indonesian women are very shy and very passive. You have to take the initiative. So if you're not afraid, although you're shy, and you manage somehow to say hi to a Indonesian woman who you like, and you even manage to start a conversation, yeah, then you will figure out pretty quickly if this woman or girl is speaking English somehow, then she will like to talk to you. Again, Indonesian women are very curious by nature. They are open-minded. I said it so many times, yeah. They are interested in foreigners, in bullies, yeah, men and women, by the way. And as this woman from the comments says, yeah, you don't have to be afraid of Indonesian women because they have no suspicious thoughts. With that, she means that these girls have no agenda in their mind. It's not like they're just waiting to rip you off or do any bad things. No. You have to understand and know that foreigners in Indonesia, when you look at the entirety of the country, yeah, and when you look at the ratio of tourists, foreigners and inhabitants of Indonesia, that foreigners, Western foreigners, are still very rare, yeah. They are still very exotic, and they are a kind of a sensation. There's still something, especially depending where you travel. I mean, in Jakarta, it's not so a big surprise anymore for Indonesian women to see and spot foreigners. But if you travel to the province, you can be almost like a superstar. You are rare. You are a hot commodity. Folks will wave at you. Little school children will be pointing fingers at you. They will start to cheer up and be excited, and they want to take pictures with you. Not only school children, but also university students or any kind of folks. That can happen. Yeah. So this is just a natural curiosity which these Indonesian people have, and they also show it. Yeah. This is just how their mentality is. It's actually a warm, open and welcoming mentality. But don't mistake this being open for conversation and talking for other things like sex or something. Yeah? If an attractive Indonesian woman has just started talking to you because you approached her, then don't make some crazy story up in your mind and think, now you can escalate things quickly and then take her to your bedroom. You know, I know how some men tick, you know. Forget about this. Don't do this mistake, okay? You go slowly, you go step by step, and then, like the woman says, you take it from there, okay? But of course, and I talked about this in other videos, if you manage to get together with an Indonesian woman, and that can also happen very quickly, then things can happen really, really quickly. Also in the bedroom, this is true. But this is initiated by her and not by you. But again, don't forget, Indonesia is a conservative country. Even you initiate conversation, you say hi and you start to talk to her and she is interested in you. It's conservative, the women are shy and passive. You have to be careful and take things step by step and slowly, and don't have too high expectations. Yeah? This is Indonesia and not the bar girl district in Thailand or Pattaya or in Phuket. Okay. This woman also says that Indonesians take things simple and they are relaxed. This is true. I basically just mentioned this already. Indonesian people are very simple. Yeah, you don't need to be afraid of them. Yeah, and she said, don't bring any woman near you. Yeah, if you want to talk or approach Indonesian women. She's talking about probably a Western. If you are a Western guy and you want to date or approach Indonesian women, you should be visibly single, yeah, not with another woman. I think it's kind of a no-brainer, but yeah, so that's how it works in Indonesia. If an Indonesian woman sees a foreigner with another woman, that's it. That's case is closed. Yeah, there is no point. Even it's your sister. Yeah, imagine you walk down the street in Indonesia with your sister and you spot an attractive Indonesian woman and you decide to approach that Indonesian woman and to talk to her, it will not help, because how can she know that this other woman is your sister? So don't even, just take her advice and then follow up on that. Okay, that's very important. And she also says, go around alone, approach first, and again takes things from there. Basically simple, normal approaching advice, but this is what I also said in my other videos, right? And here you hear it from her own mouth. This is how they like it. This is how they prefer us Westerners to do it, to approach, okay? Nothing fancy, no need to impress with your gold chain or your wallet or your 5 credit cards or your big Lamborghini. No, you have to forget about this crap, this material BS, and just have your own act together and be basically able to have the guts to go to this woman, walk up to her and say hi, without any further bedroom expectations or something like that. Just being able to strike a simple conversation without any second or third thoughts in your mind, this needs to be practiced and trained, in my opinion. So this comment here I just read you, I don't know whether she is a Christian woman or a Muslim woman. I have no idea. Yeah, but basically it doesn't really matter, because Indonesian women in general, Christian or Buddhist or Muslim, they are open-minded and curious towards foreigners in general, but there are some differences. I released a video where I talk about my experience about dating Christian and Muslim Indonesian women, and I also have released a video just recently about very important things you need to consider and to know, especially when you want to date a Muslim Indonesian woman. So I suggest you go and check out these videos. So to conclude this video, I think it's a good summary here made by this woman in her comment. A good summary, because she basically shares with us how Indonesian women tick, feel, think and perceive certain situations in public life with us foreigners, foreign men especially. And yeah, she confirms many things I also already discussed in many of my other videos. So this is very good also to hear from her, from an Indonesian woman, that she basically confirms a lot of my own personal experiences. This is good to see, good to read. But of course, it is her own perspective. Every woman in Indonesia is also a little bit different and will perceive things a little bit differently. And maybe there are Indonesian women who don't see it exactly the same way as this woman does here. But I think in general you can say that this is a solid observation, and I believe that we can apply her perspective to many Indonesian women in general. And one last word to the foreigners, to you Western guys, when you come to Indonesia, of course, also you can follow this advice here, this simple advice given by this woman. But of course, it also, your, let's say, dating or approaching success in Indonesia also will depend largely on your own dating history. It will also depend on your expectations. What expectations do you have? And it will depend on your character, right? And other guys, other experiences. Everybody is a little bit different, you know. And I know people, I know guys, I know Western guys who travel to Indonesia and they make the mistake believing that Indonesia is a quick pick-up place for fun. That's not the case. Then you better go to the Philippines, to certain areas in the Philippines like Angeles City or maybe Subic Bay. I don't know if this is still in place, or you have to travel to Phuket, to Pattaya, to Bangkok, to these places if you want to have if you need a quick fix. Indonesia in that regards, I do not recommend, okay? You really need to work, yeah? You need to be able to say hi, to start a conversation and take things from there, but rather slowly. But on the other hand, yes, Indonesian women can fall very quickly, this is true, and then things can also happen very quickly. But you have to know that before you go into Indonesia, if you travel there, before you travel, please manage your expectations. Know where you travel to. That's why you also have to do your research, do your due diligence and research the country and culture a little bit. Because if you enter Indonesia with the wrong expectations about the women and you just travel to Thailand before and to the Philippines and you think, oh, Indonesia is another great hookup place, yeah, you will be maybe in for a rude awakening, you know. Unless you go to the girly bars or hang out with a lot of freelancers, but this is not a big deal, you know. So this is what you have to know. And with that being said, I'm checking out for today. Thanks for watching and let me know what you think. What is your experience? And yeah, I'm gonna see you in one of my next videos. Take care. Bye bye.